Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear listeners. Today is day 29th of Ramadan, and what an incredible journey this has been for me this year. I was listening to a YouTuber say the other day that YouTube changes you, and I agree, it does change you. You build a community of people who walk with you, and herein lies growth, learning, encouragement, conversation, and motivation. In today's episode, I want to thank you for being part of this journey, reflect on what went into creating this series, what the aims of this series were, and then I will draw this to a close. Let me start by thanking you for your openness, your generosity in taking out the time to tune in to this series, and for sharing your learning in comments. I will absolutely love it if you can take a couple of minutes to also share with me what you thought of this rather unorthodox series. If this series has had a positive impact on one person, then I am very thankful to Allah for granting me this opportunity. I had not intended to start a Ramadan series. With a busy job, family commitments, and research work, I have struggled to create content regularly on my channel. But the Ramadan series changed that. It was an impulsive decision to start this series, but it is a decision that I am truly grateful to Allah for. It gave me focus and helped me overcome the mental burnout, the so-called PhD slump, that had been hampering my energy levels for the last couple of years. But most importantly, it reorientated my attention away from the usual tediousness of work and home and towards the Qur'an. I love the world of the Qur'an. I have always loved the world of the Qur'an. When we connect our hearts and minds with the Qur'an, amazing things happen. I have seen this with my children who see the Qur'an as an accessible book, and I saw the same magic happen with my friends' daughters when I was reading the Qur'an translation with them. I wanted my listeners here to step into the world of the Qur'an, to soak up its imagery, and be awestruck by its parables, to become aware of its linguistic and thematic connections, and above all, to become aware of the Qur'an's emphasis on inner purification or tazkiya, its expectations of ethical and excellent conduct, and its care for the most vulnerable in society. Unfortunately, in traditional circles, the Qur'an gets reduced to law and is used to judge and police other Muslims. That is a disservice to the Qur'an. I also wanted to bring to light the idea of coherence of the Qur'an and introduce you to what I call the Nadwi-Farahi-Islahi-Ghamidi school of thought. The two main features of the scholars who worked in this school of thought and the thought itself are its historically informed approach and its theorization of the coherence of the Qur'an. I also wanted to introduce you to the phenomenal, academically rigorous and excellent work that female Muslim scholars are doing. Women's reading of the Qur'an is bringing to light the egalitarian and emancipatory messages of the Qur'an. Traditional exegesis follows the verse-by-verse method that cuts off the Qur'an from its internal textual connections, and our jurists tend to extract law from the Qur'an divorced from its historical milieu, reducing law to a set of rigid rules. In actual fact, and I hope that I've demonstrated some of this, the Qur'an is a beautifully coherent text and holds within it immense dynamism. This is why it can respond to our changing needs and guide us across millennia. I hope that this series has helped you to think about the Qur'an as a living and breathing text that talks to us, that can influence our daily lives, our decisions, and our social and economic interactions. In terms of format, I wanted the listeners to connect to the beautiful world Allah has created, the colors, the sounds, the diversity of creation. And our local pond and woods presented the ideal location to immerse ourselves into the world created by Al-Musawwir, the most accomplished creator, the bestower of form and color. In creating this series, I believe that I have spent about 60 hours researching and writing notes. Just over 27,000 words have been written in less than a month, and that's a master's dissertation. And I will inshallah publish these notes as blogs in future so others can access them easily. Many hours were spent editing, and I have to thank my husband Adeem for this, and due credit to him for the beautiful photography in the video thumbnails. We have hundreds of photos of the pond and the woods across the changing seasons. My son built me a super fast computer to edit and upload video files, and his twin joined me in our discussion in episode 13. I want to finish off by saying Eid Mubarak to you. I hope you have a great time celebrating Eid with your loved ones, whether Eid for you is after 29 days of Ramadan or 30. Thank you once again for joining me in pondering at the pond. Assalamu alaikum.